Being a lead designer at Lionhead is actually an interesting job because we have one of the industry design luminaries working here in Peter Molyneux. So I work very closely with Peter to define the game vision, and then I work specifically day to day on the team trying to bring those pillars and that vision to reality. And along the way I work pretty much several times a week with Peter reviewing the game, talking about the game, and trying to execute on both what we want to do and what he is encouraging us to do.
You're still going to be a hero. You're still going to have swords, you're still going to have guns, you're still going to have magic. But this time you're going to be leading a country as well as that. We're not going to make it easy for you though. There are going to be challenges in your rule. Like many of us have seen, the leaders that we elect in today's world often age badly in the first couple of weeks when they realise the enormity of the problem that they're taking on.
We have always been a game that tries to be fairly accessible and something that hits a broader audience. So with Fable 3, what we're doing is keeping that foremost on and thinking about building it. But those that are long-term Fable fans won't be disappointed. Everything that they've loved about the Fable franchise will still be there.
A role-playing game is all about, this is me playing the role of a hero and a king or a queen.
It's really about not getting rid of every element of an RPG, but certainly making it something that people who aren't interested in that side of things will still enjoy.
New technology in Fable 3, I think the main thing for me is Simon nodding in the background.
The tools are actually a bit slower at the moment, so probably wouldn't want to talk about that. We've got a real issue with that. Move on. Obviously, with Fable 2, we had a stable code base to work from, so we've mostly been working on new cool things to go and put into the game.
One of the things that people have come to expect from Fable is innovation. And in Fable 3, we've really pushed the boat out. We've totally looked at the morph system, thrown it all away, and started again. And the first thing that we've got is something called extreme morphs. Now, these extreme morphs are on an expression. So you're walking along and someone just upsets you. You can press this expression and out of your back appears these huge angel wings. A shaft of light comes down and shines on you. Everyone around you steps back and, oh my goodness, there you're showing your true character off.
Aggressive. Smile, stern.
We've got hot syncing in the tools now, so all the artists can edit a texture and pop it into the game immediately just by hitting a button, and it never fails, obviously. Can I redo that bit? Never works. Never works. That's a Freudian slip.
There's another thing which I think we could use for morphing, which is really interesting, which I've never seen before. And that is the weapon that you use. Why not have weapons change as you use them, that adapt themselves visually to your combat style and to your alignment? So imagine, how do you make the evil sword of ages? You make it by using it in an evil way. And as you use it, as you kill innocent victims, so you will see it glow and drip with blood all the time. I want everybody in the world to have unique weapons.
As we teach you our new way of doing weapon customization, we need to think about how we teach that to the player, making sure that every facet of it makes sense, is clear, is understandable, isn't too complicated, but is deep enough, and all of that is very hard, very challenging, but it's also very fun.
More excitingly is with the lighting system. In Fable 2, I think, to generate the lighting for all the levels took a bank of 6 very, very powerful machines, 7 days to generate all the lighting for everything. Today we've got a bank of 1 machine which generates all the levels in 5 hours, which is a lot better.
We've also been looking at how you express yourself, and we're giving you the ability to touch things. Now this may sound strange, but imagine this, being able to reach out and touch your girlfriend in the game, being able to hold, persuade, pull, push, all that can be done dynamically.
There is a fantastic amount of fighting and great combat and a really swift, pacey storyline, which is really engaging and really snappy. Fable 3 is going to be a damn good adventure.
It's such an exciting time. And you know why it's so exciting? It's because we're actually changing Fable 3. We're moving more towards the action-adventure and we're diminishing a little bit the RPG. We still love RPGs, we still adore RPGs, but we also love the drama and the excitement that action-adventure games bring. We've got a completely new GUI system. I know this sounds boring, but those two-dimensional lists that role-playing games have, I hate.
The GUI is new for Fable 3 in that it's going to be 3D and interactive in a very 3D environment. So you'll be able to walk through the GUI and treat it as if it's just another part of the Fable world. Here's a level that's had a little bit of polish put into it, with nice buildings which pop up to show you that you can have a little look at them.
I want dressing rooms where I can change my clothes. I want armories where I can craft my weapons. I want war rooms where I can strategize.
You'll be able to walk into, for example, a clothing room. You'll see statues dressed up with all the clothing that you've collected, so you can see at a glance whether you think the trousers all look good on you, that kind of thing. And you can see here we've got some outfits that we've collected during our time in the game. You'll be able to scroll through your different outfits to see what you've collected. And then just in real time, I can just have a quick run around, see if I like it.
One of the things about Fable is the humour. You know, people have said, it's a British humour, it's a bit like Monty Python. So we were inspired by that, and so we went out there and we got the most iconic Monty Python character ever. John Cleese is one of the major players in Fable 3.
Okay. Now I've got some strange man in here who's moving around.
I played Jasper, who is the butler at the Royal Palace, and he was originally butler to the king who's gone all wrong, the naughty one. And now he is the great and faithful and loyal attendant on the young fellow who's going to become the hero, or the young girl who's going to become the heroine.
The bottom half of your chicken suit has arrived, and I've prepared it for you. Yes, this is exactly the sort of future I imagined for myself when I got into butling.
He's a little formal because he's an old-fashioned British-style butler, but the warmth and the emotional identification with the hero or heroine is very strong.
Ah, a new mask. You'll be completely anonymous wearing this on your face. Wear it anywhere else on your person, I expect you would achieve exactly the opposite effect.
Your butler will be very unique to you. He's recording more lines than almost anyone else in the cast because of that.
After that, you are to continue your combat training with Sir Walter.
You start Fable 3, it's kind of like you started Fable 1 and Fable 2. You start fairly powerless, and what you've got to do is you've got to bring together followers to overthrow this tyrant king. On your journey to overthrowing that king, you're going to make people promises. And I love the relevance to today, because what you'll find is the promises you make are going to have to be fulfilled. But just like presidents and prime ministers in today's world, it's so hard to keep those promises.
The trouble with most leaders is that ultimately they just want to be in charge. And they may cover it up under the feeling that they want to do good or make these changes, but basically they just like being top dog.
And then about halfway through the game, you become king or queen. You rule Albion. It's that feeling of power, of dominance. You know, we've all asked ourselves this question, well, if I was in control, I would change this. Well, now with Fable 3, you have that choice. As I play through Fable, sure enough, the experience is what the Fable fans will love, absolutely. But also, there's an element of uniqueness here, which I feel lots more people enjoy. There's drama, there's emotion, there's a feeling of power, there's excitement. And I think we are really learning to blend all that stuff together and deliver an experience in Fable 3 that really hasn't been seen before.
And so you have gathered every last piece of the lady's pajamas. Gosh, that would make an excellent closing line for a novel, wouldn't it? A great cliffhanger.
In Fable III, I play Sabine.
I am Sabine, elder of the Dweller tribe.
This is my first experience voicing a video game. So what drew me to it was the team, how committed they are, how well organized everything is, and how beautiful the game is. There is, I think, some loose connection between a character I played in a film called The Last Legion and Sabine. They're both from the same part of the UK. They're both from Wales.
All right, I'll shout Sabine's History of the Dweller tribe.
And I apologise to any Welsh players of the game for my Welsh accent, but I did have a go.
So royalty walks into our home. A princess, no less. You're a long mile from the castle, princess. What do you think of our home, then? Do you like what your brother has done to us?
In Fable III, I played Teresa, who is a seer who was blinded in her youth. I think you see that in Fable I. She is born to see into the future.
Sabine is a good man, and his people are strong.
I play a character called Reaver. He's a kind of, I don't know how you describe him, a foppish, debauched ruin of a rake of a piratical libertine. I wouldn't call him immoral so much as amoral. He has no morality whatsoever. He doesn't even have a concept of morality.
These pitiful men are not a patch on my old bloodstone pirates. Oh, how I miss them sometimes.
There's always something stylish about being utterly wicked.
Hey, Master Weaver, you think anyone will actually get this perfect score?
No need to get restless, sweetheart. Barry Hatch is here to take care of you. Fancy a quick jig?
Reaver will prove your most valuable asset.
The character I play in Fable III is Logan, who is the king of Albion.
This is my Albion. Its people will do as I say, or they will die. Its future will be as I decree, or it will end.
It's my first time playing a video game character, and it's really interesting because it's another sort of form of storytelling.
What are you doing here? The war room is no place for a child.
What was really helpful was when I got sort of, sketches and images of the character, and through that I could sort of gather a lot of information, really, sort of an air of sort of pomposity and arrogance and paranoia.
Take my sister and her friend to the throne room. We shall settle this matter officially.
When Logan started to behave so appallingly, I told myself he wanted to prove his strength by seeing off a few agitators.
In Fable III, I play a character called Elliot, who's the female hero's kind of love interest, potentially.
To force an entire kingdom to live in fear. That's true tyranny.
He's a very genuine, kind man who is kind of the moral barometer for the female hero. Not a great fighter, pretty useless, and gets in a lot of trouble.
All hail the Queen of Albion!
I play a character called Sir Walter Beck, who's the kind of typical right-hand man of the monarch.
Oh, balls to you all.
He's loyal, he's honest, he's a hard fighter.
Ha-ha! You only went and broke it. Look at that. Am I a great teacher or what?
He's everything that a king would want, just here.
Blocked! Stick that up Logan's pipe and smoke it.
In Fable III, I am playing the part of Ben Finn, who is a sort of rapscallion, soldier-cum-adventurer who, had a difficult life. He grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, didn't really want to. He's always been quite a moral guy. He's always been kind of wanted to do the right thing, but was just dragged back into criminality again and again. But eventually, he joined the Royal Albion Army and sort of became this sort of, the guy he wanted to be.
Ow! It's like being hit by a frozen sock!
I played Jasper, who is the butler at the Royal Palace, and he was originally butler to the king who's gone all wrong. And now he is the great and faithful and loyal attendant on the young fellow who's going to become the hero, or the young girl who's going to become the heroine.
You've a new mask, an exciting mix of daring and dashing. A bit like my first cat, Simon.
I think people often wonder whether an actor is using himself in a character, and I think the answer is, to some extent he has to.
One of the things that's missing from a lot of video games is good writing and good voice work. I mean, they require that. It's just because they're video games doesn't mean they don't require the same attention that movies do, or television, or what have you. And I think this one has a wonderful mythology, and it's witty, and it's engrossing, and it demands to have people that, you know, can step up to the plate.
This is revolutionary for me. It has to become part of the actor's vocabulary. We have to join in or perish.
Okay, you're ready? The video's ready? Are you ready?
A wolf has been hit. Oh, no, actually, could I do that again? It sounded a little bit grand.
Could very well destroy the kingdom of Albion. Just like that poster.
And is my cappuccino here yet?
The shambles!
My advice to anyone who wants to play this game and win and overthrow Logan and be a good leader is to be yourself. Don't try and second guess. Don't try and think, oh, I wonder if the game wants me to do this or the game wants... It's not about that. It's about you, the player.